Hello beautiful people, it's Sinderfam. Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be checking this video together. Let's check it out.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Impressive channel. Yo Miami recently sat down with Saucy Santana on her podcast, Carisha Please, and she opened up about Diddy for the first time since he's been caught up in his legal trouble. Now, we all know that Diddy is under heavy surveillance from the feds, and ever since he was sued by Cassie and his producer Lil Rod, everything has been going downhill. I mean, he has been accused of doing all types of stuff, from DV to SA, and one of the main crimes is also trafficking, okay? Now, Young Miami was implicated in some of Diddy's shenanigans. In fact, in Lil Rod's lawsuit, he claimed that Young Miami was Diddy's escort, and she also allegedly was sniffing that white powder, and she was even transferring this drug called Tusi to Diddy. Not to mention, Young Miami implicated her own self when she taunted one of Diddy's girlfriends, Gina V, and said that Diddy would make her go down on her knees and perform different acts on her, which falls in line with what Cassie accused Diddy of. She accused him of making her do things on other male escorts when she was under the influence. So Young Miami really got herself in some hot water messing with Diddy. Now, when she was with him, she did benefit for the time being because he helped her get her own podcast called Carisha Please on his network Revolt, which he no longer owns because he had to step down. But he helped her get a podcast. He kind of helped her branch out and broaden her brand. He actually invested in some of her merch, like her candles, and he just brought her to important places like the Met Gala. I mean, he really did help elevate her brand to the point that Young Miami kind of felt like she didn't really need her group, the City Girls, anymore. At least it felt that way. I mean, before Young Miami got with Diddy, she was with JT and the City Girls, and Young Miami did admit that they were financially struggling as a group.
It just wasn't connecting no more, and I just felt like that's what really made me like start my own brand. Like, I gotta do something because I'm in this group. The group ain't making no money. We not working.
So with the group struggling the way it did, you could kind of see how Young Miami would turn to somebody like Diddy and look at him as somebody who could elevate her, not only career-wise, but financially. And Diddy is a billionaire. He has connections. He's like a hip-hop mogul. So at the time, Young Miami felt like she came across a gold mine. And in a way, she kind of felt like she didn't need the group anymore because Diddy was helping her kind of launch out on her own. And she talked about it in this interview. She talked about how Diddy would pump her up and say how much he believed in her and how much he saw in her. And he also invested a lot in her and had her promote his brand. And it got to a point where her brand was intertwined with his brand. And the City Girls no longer was a thing. But I said this before, and I'm going to say it again. I feel like Young Miami sold her soul to Diddy. And when I say sell her soul, I mean she literally sold her brand, sold her body to him. And in return, she got his money, she got his connections, and she was able to get more fame. So it seemed like everything was working in her favor until things hit the fan. And the minute Diddy had his downfall, Young Miami fell down with him. So this is actually the result of her selling her soul to Diddy. And honestly, you could tell she's in a broken place. I mean, watching her interview on her podcast was like kind of sad to see, because here you had a woman who seemed like she had it all, and now she's really telling you the real. She's sad. She's lonely. Also, her brand kind of fell apart. She lost money. She lost the love from the people. She said she feels like she lost her personality. Her music isn't doing well. I mean, she lost a lot.
So mentally, like, 1 minute I'm happy, 1 minute I'm sad, 1 minute I'm kind of like, fuck this shit. And then the people that I thought that would be in my corner, or that are like, when I was going through this shit, nobody called me to check on me. Nobody called me to see how I was doing. Like, people was really like, you thought.
Yeah.
So I just really hate that I lost my personality. And that shit will really break you down as a person when it's like you reading all of these negative things and it's like taking up, majority of your day. Like, you just reading like, you should give up. You ain't shit. You'll start thinking like, damn, should I give up?
Yeah.
I just feel like I don't got a personality no more, and it just really hurts. I'm not able to release music right now is because it's like when I try to turn my music in, it's just like we don't see no growth in your music.
So you kind of heard a little bit about what Young Miami is going through, and honestly, I kind of feel bad for her. I know some people.
But obviously, when she was having a good time with Diddy, when Diddy was around with her career and all of that, you saw how she was on the internet. So, I mean, karma. Okay, let's not say it's karma, but I mean, she's no longer on that high horse. She's now on a different level. Because obviously, then she was on a very high level, and she thought that it was a good opportunity for her to shine and everything, which was good. It was a perfect moment to elevate her career. But now that, okay, is no longer as it used to be, now people should feel sorry for her. I mean, how is it that people forget so quickly? Exactly. How?
People don't, but I kind of feel a little bad. I mean, maybe this whole PR sympathy thing is working. It's working, y'all. It's working, at least for me. But whether it's for publicity or not, I do feel like her tears were genuine. And even though she is not innocent, she still is human. And I do commend her for being vulnerable enough to open up about her feelings. I also commend Saucy Santana. I mean, Saucy Santana is a good friend. I could tell he's a really good friend. Now, Young Miami did finally address Diddy and the allegations, and she actually said that she and Diddy are no longer together. And she also said that they actually fell in love, which I thought was pretty surprising.
I can't speak on these allegations because I wasn't around at the time. I don't know that person, and that wasn't my experience.
Are you still dating Puff Daddy?
I'm not. I said I was going to tell my truth. I think that it really, really, really hurt me because I just feel like, you know, Puff was a really, really good person to me. When all of these things came out, I just needed to take a break and focus on what's important. That was just me and my career and my family, and just, you know, let him navigate and figure that out on his own because I can't get caught up in that. He didn't expect to fall in love with me because we did end up falling in love with each other. And I just feel like, you know, it's just everything that's going on. Like, I don't want to get caught up in that. And I just need a moment to just pour into me.
So Young Miami officially separated herself from Diddy. Now, she still was implicated in that lawsuit, and she was out there doing some freak offs with Diddy too now. So she's not innocent. She could shed a few tears here and there, but she's still not 100% innocent. But she is trying to separate herself, obviously, because she's trying to reset her career.
Yes.
Now, I want to kind of get into some of her comments about her former group member,
Before we go on, but of course, she's gonna save her career, so she's gonna distance herself, which is I mean, not surprising to see. But I mean, those tears, of course, you know, emotion sells and all of that, it sells. So now, just to get us on the soft side of the audience, of her fans and all of that, so they feel sorry for her and forget everything that happened with while she was still having a thriving career. I mean, what do you think? Let's say she did not experience none of that, because obviously it's going to be a truth, and our truth says she did not experience none of that. But I mean, um she may also have met Diddy as a different person towards her, because obviously other people's experience doesn't is gonna be different from her experience as well. So, I mean, based on everything that she was doing while she was with Diddy, most likely, what do you think? And no, this is not to throw shades at her. Of course, people are definitely gonna still have that pity side or level of empathy towards her, because obviously she's vulnerable in public, which usually gets to people. But do you think she's a saint to this? What do you think?
her comments about her former group member, JT. So I'm sure some of you all know, but Young Miami and JT's group, the City Girls, pretty much fell apart and they both decided to go solo. Honestly, the breakup had a lot to do with ego. It had a lot to do with the fact that the City Girls were not making money like that. They had creative differences as a group. I mean, people were in their ear telling them to go solo. Fans were kind of getting in between them. I mean, there was a lot that was going on, but the main thing is Young Miami stopped prioritizing the group and she started focusing more on her career, her solo career. And also she would do things without JT. She and Saucy Santana would hang out together and do things. And JT was just left out. She was left out, and JT still wanted to hold on to the group. She still wanted to focus on the craft, but Young Miami was more focused on growing her own brand. And Young Miami got so popular that people were just like, who cares about the City Girls anymore, you know? Exactly. And I think JT felt like nobody was really checking for her like that. Now, there were some people saying that JT needed to go solo because JT can rap, but also they saw that she kind of was abandoned in a sense. But JT did say that she didn't really want to do songs as a solo artist without Caresha. But what's interesting is Caresha, aka Young Miami, and Saucy Santana encouraged her to step out on her own and do her own thing sometimes.
JT is out the way, and me being y'all friend, it frustrates me sometimes because I'm like, Caresha Please, and she could do all that stuff, and I'm like, JT, you so motherfucking talented and so raw. Why you won't do nothing?
I remember it's somebody and they'll keep trying to like force me to do a song without Caresha, and I was like, no, like she gonna be on this song too, like. And Caresha like the type of person that like she don't give a you could have did it, and I'm like, I'm not gonna do it, like.
So JT said someone reached out to her to do a song and she didn't want to do it without Young Miami, but Young Miami was like, girl, go ahead and do it. So JT eventually decided that she needed to step out because Young Miami was doing her own thing, and if she wanted to have any career for herself, she had to do her own thing too. Yeah. So that's what she did. This is why JT went solo. And I could tell that JT is much happier being a solo artist. I think she's fulfilling her dream. But I think JT going solo probably made Young Miami uneasy. Young Miami is used to being the star of the group. Even though JT is the better rapper, Young Miami was used to being more popular. But now things kind of shifted and JT started becoming more popular. She started to get more features. And that's another thing. Young Miami felt a way that JT was getting features. And it's so interesting because Young Miami was getting a lot of features without JT. But the minute JT started getting features, it became a problem. Especially when she got a feature on Nicki Minaj's Super Freaky Girl Queen mix. That was a problem for Young Miami to the point that when JT and Cardi B got into it on Twitter, Young Miami didn't bother to defend JT because she was like, well, you didn't invite me to be a part of the Queen mix, so that's between y'all. That's your issue.
The Queen ain't called me, and I ain't know nothing about the remix. The song was never mentioned to me. I was never called for the song. I was never given a heads up like, hey, you know, I got a song coming out with Nicki or nothing. I never knew nothing about it.
Yeah.
So when that situation came on Twitter and they was arguing about the song, it's like, why insert myself? You know what I'm saying? Like that situation had absolutely nothing to do with me. Bitch, I got left off of Bad the Bougie. I didn't even know nothing about the motherfucking song. So I just felt like, you know, that was between JT and Cardi.
So how long behind the scenes do you feel like have things been rocky between y'all two?
I feel like it's been a minute. It's been a minute since shit been going on behind closed doors. Like, I just feel like we outgrew each other. I feel like she was in LA, I was in Miami. She was been working on her shit. I didn't know. And I just feel like every time we try to get together, it just didn't hit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not going to the studio together. I'm doing a feature. People calling for the City Girls. You know, it's either me or it's you. It just wasn't connecting no more. And I just felt like that's what really made me like start my own brand. Like, I gotta do something because I'm in this group. The group ain't making no money. We not working. So it just became a point where we was just like on two different pages.
So that's what Young Miami had to say. And she said more. And a lot of people didn't really like what she had to say about JT because they feel like she threw JT under the bus. They're not really in the best place right now, especially since they fought with each other on social media. Even though they did make up, they're still not super close like that. So I don't know. I just think that there's a lot of ego involved, and you have two girls who want to be a star in their own right. I mean, JT always wanted to be a rapper. She wanted to be a rap star, and Young Miami can't really rap, but she wanted to be a star as well. And more than anything, she wanted to make money. So they both really wanted the spotlight. And as much as they try to say, oh, you my sister, I can't do this without you, I do think they both like getting solo attention. But when one person starts getting more attention than the other, that's when things become a bit of a problem. And I think Young Miami right now is experiencing what JT experienced a few years ago. When Young Miami was on top, JT felt left out. And now that JT is doing her thing as a solo artist and she's kind of slowly getting to the top, Young Miami is starting to feel left out. She's starting to feel away, actually, because the City Girls was the thing that she could fall back on. But now that JT has kind of moved full force as a solo artist, there's really no going back. But, you know, I'm not mad at Young Miami for expressing her feelings. I know people aren't going to agree with it. They feel like she threw JT under the bus, which she kind of did. And some of what Young Miami was saying was a bit of revisionist history, because she said no one called to check on her, but JT said that she did call and check on her. She said she was the first one to call and check on her. And also she said that JT and Cardi B were fighting over the Nicki Minaj Queen mix, but in reality, they were arguing because Cardi called her a lapdog for no reason. But Young Miami made it about the Queen mix because truthfully, she was really frustrated that JT was on that remix and she wasn't. And she wanted to air that out. That's what I think. So she was kind of twisting up the story a bit, and I think it was a little unfair. But I commend her for at least opening up. You know what I mean? It's not easy to do. And I do wish her the best moving forward. Anyway, tell me what you all think about this video down below. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if you care. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Of course, there is obviously jealousy, ego, and all of that between two. I mean, it's celebrity, so obviously they want to shine. They both want to shine, and one is outshining the other. It's going to be a problem, or the other person is going to feel some type of way because she isn't getting the spotlight, or she also want to be in the mix with the other party and the other. So I mean, it's crazy, but yo, it's not surprising. I mean, sometimes some group break up to make up, some group break up for real. And I think maybe their group has gotten to its peak where they no longer need each other. They rather go solo and do their thing, which makes sense. But let me know what you think about it, though. I'm sure tons of people have interesting things to share. Really love you to share that. Can share the useful information you think might be really helpful. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and all of that stuff. And until next time, see you in the next video.